Mum's story, it was culture and heritage, saving our sites, fighting for recognition of Aboriginal people, justice, education.
Well, I suppose they recognised her back in 1988 when she was Aboriginal of the Year, state and national.
Hello, my name's Patsy Winch. I'm from the Mati Mati tribe. I was also born in Balranald, 1956 actually, when the floods were very high, which Mum said I had the highest mark on the tree back then. This is also the anniversary of Mum's passing. She entered into the dreaming, so it's a very significant and wonderful day for us to be doing this recording. Where we are at the moment, we're out here at the depot. This is the birthing place of our mother. It's on the Murrumbidgee. Alice Kelly, our mother, she was born down here.
Well, depot is, and you dip in and dip out in the water, in and out, and also it's a cleansing place as well. And we also do our smoking ceremonies down here, and which is another form of cleansing.
Muddy country's in, our country runs to townships of Euston, Tulibuck, takes in Yanga National Park. It also takes in Mungo National Park, which is west of Balranald, which is a pretty big area. But mainly we did all of our walkabout and stories right here on the ground with Mum here in the township of Balranald and the surroundings. They used to come, when she was a child with her mother, they'd come down here. She was a very good swimmer. She could go down and come up with mussels from the bottom of the river. And that was the depot, because they'd come down here, dip in the water, dive for some mussels, bring them back out. Yeah. And that would have been, that would have been passed on from her mother. This is where you were born. And she brought us down here and said this is where she was born. It was just one of the camping grounds around the river.
Food source.
The food source here, the trees, perfect place. We're on the bend of a river, so you can see both ways. This is one of our bush medicines that Mum passed down to us while walking around the river, or whenever it was with her and she'd seen it, she'd tell us about it, what it was good for. You boil it, you drink it, you wash your hair in it, you wash your skin in it, you can bath in it. And yeah, it's just one of the things that we were told about, that she taught, that she passed on whenever we were doing our walks with her. And otherwise, at other times, we'd just come looking for it too for her. She'd say, let's go and get some old man weed. And we'd bring her down to the river and we'd pick it for her, and then she'd take it home and we'd boil it up and use it as she pleased. She drank it.
It's a food they used to make the bread out of, or the damper, and you just pull the seeds out. But we used to come with Mother, and she always would say, stop, I need some of that, I need some proper bread, I need some proper food. The first time she showed me, it was quite amazing actually, because I suppose she didn't tell us as kids, because as children, I wasn't sort of interested in this sort of stuff back in those days. Until we got older, and then she knew that, we'll understand and we'll never forget that you'll come down and there's always food around. Yes, Mother, so we'll pick some today for you, since it's your anniversary, and we're going to have a little treat.
They always lived on the outskirts of towns. The first mission that people were put on, which is another place further round the bend, is what we call the island. That was the mission where Aboriginal people lived. And then they moved on the other side of town, which is the mission which is still there today.
Mother was born in 1919, and back in those days a lot of the mothers was too scared to have their babies up at the hospital because they're frightened if they go in one door they don't come out the other door, or they go in there and have their babies and the babies be taken off them, and they're saying that the baby have died and the baby be taken away. And that's why, a lot of women had their babies down here.
Our niece Tanya Charles, she worked very hard along with Mum and Parks and Wildlife to have this handed back to us. This is always Aboriginal land, Muddy country, and it was just that little bit more significant after, it gave us more ownership when it was recognised by national parks that it is a sacred place for our birthing tree, and this area is also now protected under the Act of National Parks and Wildlife.
The continuation of Alice Kelly's and the Muddy people, that they'll still come back here today and do their smoking ceremonies and sit around and yarn and fish and gather.
Yes.
And I think that was a plan well before, and it's continuing on today. And it's still a very special place for all people to come and share.
Yeah, Alice Kelly, she also, back in the early days, I say around about the 60s, they were putting a new bridge up, also the swimming pool, and there's a place on the river called the Sand Hill, which is down on the mission. They were taking dirt from there, but in that sand hill are burials. And so she took a petition around the town and got support of a lot of the locals and got that stopped. And this is way before Charlie Perkins, and she was going to be, as soon as she got her voice, well, there was no stopping her then, because she just, when something wasn't right, she'd try and make it right and made sure that people were doing the right thing. When they discovered Mungo Lady, and everybody found out in the newspaper, didn't they? And so she wrote the letter, "What are you doing with my people?" And that's when at the start of her being on the board of National Parks and Wildlife, the first woman plus Aboriginal woman to be on that board with that government department. She helped protect the fish traps, and that was one of the things that we were taught to about and shown where they were. That had to do with our learning the country, because we, to know where things are. They were there in my grandfather's time. They were used when the river was going dry, and they built the traps to be able to protect the fish and also catch what fish they could get from that fish trap. That's been down there for how many years? Well before 200 years. They was always there. They were built by our people. There's lots of significant sites in Balranald. The fish trap, the sand hill, here the birthing place, the island. And she worked into getting those places protected.
Today that she passed away back in 2003, she might be sleeping, but she's still talking. Her voice is still going.
We're carrying on her work.
Because they, living children in the family. So, yeah. So she's still talking all over. Descendants.
My mother was born here. Her mother was born here on country, muddy country. That was one thing we was told all through our lives growing up. We know that this is muddy country. We know the law of the land. We know where our sites are, and we know who we are. As Mum said, it's love, peace and harmony, which is our Aboriginality and our spirituality. That's in us, and our country's in us. And we're part of everything. From the trees, from up there. to here.